Greetings. It is a brew day. It's a warm one already. Oh my goodness. It's like 8:30 in the morning and it feels very warm out there. Not complaining like, but I'm just thinking I might need to change out of the jeans at some point during this brew day. So we're doing a double batch today. A double batch of Pilsner, or a New Zealand Pilsner anyway, a hoppy lager, dry hop lager. New Zealand hops, Nelson Sauvin as usual, plus we're using Centennial this time as its pairing partner, pairing buddy, pairing whatever. In terms of the grain bill then, very simple. It's just over 7 kilos of Pilsner malt. And then a little bit of wheat in there as well. Same grain bill every time. This is going to be a 40-litre batch. We're aiming for about 4.5 to 4.7 maybe. Just don't want it to get over the 5% or anything, because it's gonna be like for the summertime. Even though it feels like summertime's already, but it's late spring and I'm doing this sometime in May. Don't know what the date is, the 11th maybe. Just to put a time on it, so I imagine this will be ready for July. That's what the plan is. I mean, it'll be ready before that, like, it will be at its best from the middle of July onward. So yeah, Centennial. Centennial we're using. I was very tempted to use Citra again, but the last version of this was Citra. Turned out excellent. At least the first batch turned out excellent. The second batch was, I won't say not excellent, but it wasn't quite as good, even though it was brewed at the same time. It's the same recipe. The only difference was same yeast. The only difference was the dry hop. One dry hop was all Citra and one dry hop was all Nelson. And the all Nelson dry hop just didn't taste as good. I don't really know why. Pressure fermented as well too, so curious. So I think with this one we're going to be mixing. So I've got like a, what is it? I think it's like 50 grams of each going in. I could be wrong about that. Maybe it's 100 grams of each. I don't know. Something. Whatever it is, it's going to be split equally between the two fermenters. So it should be the same beer. I wonder should have changed it and dry hop with Citra. It was so good the last time. I don't know. Don't. This is like taking a penalty. Don't change the brew halfway through. All right, just don't do it. Haven't weighed any hops out though, so that's what I'm thinking. Okay, watch this space is what we're saying. I'm waiting for the goalkeeper to move, and then when he moves I'm going to slot it in the other corner. I've just had a memory of years and years ago, sometime in the 90s, I'm not old, and we were playing football for like our work team at some tournament, and I was like the penalty taker for the team. I scored 3 penalties all the way through, and really kind of casual, like slotting it in the corner, waiting for the goalkeeper to move and then slotting it in the corner and stuff like that. And then we got to I think it's the quarterfinals, and then ended up in a penalty shootout. And I was the last penalty taker, and of course I was sitting there watching everybody else score. Everybody scored, and then it got to me, and for whatever reason It's like you're told, don't change your mind when you're going to take a penalty. And that's exactly what it did. I was running up. I was aiming to put it in the left corner. And I ran up and I changed my mind. I thought I'd put it in the right corner. And I ended up just hitting it straight down the middle. And the goalkeeper didn't even move, just stood there and go, oh my God, caught it. And it was so bad, we got put out. Yes. Still feel guilt about that. So yeah. I don't know why I've just brought that up, but I haven't thought about that in years. I mean, I don't like crying myself to sleep every night over it. I did get the piss taken out of me for years afterwards. Even though like I'd already scored like 3 penalties in the games leading up to that. Everybody forgets. Everybody forgets. Thankfully I'm too old to play football these days. Don't have the ankles for it. I broke my ankle when I was a kid. And it's never been the same. And now it's so crap. I mean, I'm sure I could get like a balance board or something and make them a bit stronger or whatever. But yeah, I get like hurting my ankle walking on a flat surface. I had to stop playing football altogether because it guaranteed it would turn my ankle every time. And just play on. God knows what that was doing. Hear me just rabbiting on about nothing. About nothing. Yeah, so I'm gonna see if I can find any shorts in the house. I was actually looking there before I came out. I don't know where I've put them. Somewhere. So watch this space. Might have to put a bit of fake tan or something on just to, you know, so you don't see my white bits. I'm just amusing myself. I'm just amusing myself, talking rubbish. Absolute rubbish. Really liking Whisk Zuki as well too. I think it's excellent. It's definitely a better size one. I mean, I could probably go smaller still. But I think it's probably about right. 16 inches. Down from the big 20 inch to 16 inches. It's like when it gets thick like this, it gets a lot harder, but because it's shorter, it means you can get more, you know, more purchase on it. Is that a thing? Am I just talking in football cliches here? So what I really want to do is to finish it with a plum. It's getting hot now. Oh my goodness. Whew. You know what though? I'm quite happy. Alright, it's better this than lashing down my rain outside, blowing a gale, me out there trying to clean stuff. Oh, good memories. Okay, let's maybe, let's get that pump off actually. Pump off. What's that? So I was actually mashing there for about an hour and a half because I had stuff to do inside and just thought, you know what, let's just do it. And then of course when I was doing that I forgot about the sparge water, and there's like 25 litres of sparge water. So on this thing that was a right bit of a weight to get up the temp. So but we're here now. I've also changed, I went in my head there. I have changed the recipe actually, but I've only changed the dry hop. So instead it was 100 grams each. I was going to mix it of Nelson and Centennial. So I've mixed 50 grams each of those two hops, plus I've got another dry hop. So I'm going to put in the second fermenter, Citra. It's going to be all Citra. 93 grams I think it is, whatever was left in that bag. So That is the plan. And that won't affect anything. Now, what I think I am going to do is I'm going to put in the Centennial hops now as like a first wort. So let me do that. So there they are. They are gonna go down here somewhere. Hopefully. So this is terrifying. Let's turn that to the side. Toss them in the back. Oh my god. It's gonna go all over the floor, I just know it. Let's do that by hand. Just to be sure. Okay, there they go. That's only like 10 grams, I think. Something like this. Centennial's 9.6, something like that. So the original ABU, can't wait yet, was like 25. This is what it worked out as. It's normally about 28. So yeah, I'm not going to worry too much about it. Okay, let's get the pump on. Pump on, let's turn it around. Okay, so that's what it looks like on top. Just nicely filled, it's going across. And then underneath, we're getting a good coverage. It is Sweatbox city limits in here. What have we got? Oh, we're up to 27 degrees. Nice, lovely, toasty. So, with that in mind, I've actually had a great idea, okay? This one here, ended up with two 20-litre batches as well too, which was good. We had 43 litres left in the pot, 3 litres of losses, and then 20 litres each fermenter. It worked out really well. So I've had a great idea, as I said. I don't know if this is really a good idea or what, but doing it. So pitch the yeast into that. That's the normal lager yeast we're using for that. But on this one here, because it's so warm, it seems like a perfect opportunity to use a bit of Kveik. And I have got some flakes here, sent over by Woodbine Fandango, still in the freezer. Oslo this is, so I believe this is the one that, it's the lager type one. So the reason I'm doing that as well too is because I kegged the beer that was in there. It was a total nightmare, alright. It was a total nightmare trying to get it out, because kind of setup, the setup I was using was this, and you see that ring there? I'd actually taken the ring off to give it all a good clean the last time, and I forgot to put it back on, or I either forgot to put it back on or just couldn't be bothered putting it back on. I didn't think anything of it, but I couldn't get the magnet to like stick to pull this down, and I was just chugging the whole time, and I basically had to turn it sideways nearly and hold on to it, and it was very stressful. It was incredibly stressful, so I had to put that on. So that took an age to do. It was very stressful, and after all that I had basically a full keg. I've already got 4 kegs in there, and it was just like, what am I going to do with this bloody thing? So I put it into the fridge here. There it is there. I'm thinking maybe I'll just leave it in the fridge, and we'll leave this one out because I don't know that I'm going to get through. I was going to bottle the coconut stout, but I don't have any caps, which I completely forgot about. I didn't buy any after I bottled the empty that time. So that means I've only got plastic bottles, and it's just, you know what, forget about it. So there's our dry hop as well, so that's going in. So I'll need to have a think about that. Maybe we'll see what way it's going anyway, and we'll decide what we're doing about that. So the last thing to do then is to stick some of these straight in. Ideally I would have liked to made a starter or whatnot with these, but you know, this is very much a spur of the moment decision. It's now after 2 o'clock as well too. This brew day is taking forever, but so be it. Right, let's get some of this stuff in. That's enough there, I should think. It is Kveik after all. Kveik. Right. So that's just going to sit literally there. It's not going to move for a while. Now, the last point of interest is the gravity reading. Okay, so that's 1042. It's quite... I mean, I think it might be 1042 in the recipe actually, now that I think about it. Or something, but I'm now thinking that maybe me being so... Maybe me throwing in those hops at first wort with gay abandon was maybe a mistake, and I'm wondering how bitter this is going to be, because I was like also accidentally was like word pulling when I was doing the dry or doing the hop stand, which adds a bit of bitterness too, I find. Okay, cheers. Yep, there's a little bit of bitterness in there. We'll see what way it ferments out. Maybe something will happen. Maybe it'll be too bitter. I don't know. But look, I've got 2 beers this time. Woo! So this is the both kegs. Okay. So this one is the one with the Kveik, and this one is the one with the lager. Now straight away you can see that this one here is a bit more cloudy than this. But, I mean, in terms of that, other than that, the colour is exactly the same. It should be the same. It's the same beer. It's just the yeast that's slightly different. So I thought I would do it like this, and just to see, because I always wanted to do these side by side things, and then I just never got around to it because I always drink that keg first, and then I'm on that keg. So it's only been a few weeks, to be honest. They've been in the keg, so. But let's not worry about it. Let's just get straight into it. So, what I'm going to do first, okay? Well, we'll do the lager first, right? And because that's kind of what I know, and then we'll do this, okay? In terms of tasting it. There is that you can definitely get that Nelson. You're picking up that grapey. Funky gooseberry, maybe. Aroma, definitely. I mean, considering it's dry hop, it's not really as punchy as I thought. Yeah, that is definitely. This one is slightly more. Still got that gooseberry note, but also a little bit of something else in there, like a bit of other fruit, tropical fruit maybe. Mango, something like that. Nice. Okay, and this is the first time I've used Oslo yeast, like Kveik, so I don't really know what it's like. I know it's supposed to be clean and stuff, so let's go in. Let's go straight into this. Nice bit of clarity already. Looking good. Okay. Nice and light. Should also say that this came in at 4.4. This came in at 4. No, this came in at 4.4 and this came in at 4.3. This was 1. This got down 1 lower, 1 point lower in terms of gravity. Oh, okay, it's good. First things first, it's good. So it's really easy to drink, nice and light, really quite fruity, super clean as you would expect. That's really nice. There's a little bit of a bitterness to it, but it's not like the last couple of beers I did where it was too much bitterness. It's just perfect. And the taste is lots more of the Centennial, which is the orange flavours, little touch of grapefruit in there as well as the Nelson. So that is kind of, at the minute, that is the perfect
That is the perfect level. I find Nelson tends to, I know I've said this before, but Nelson tends to, as time goes on, it takes over and it will smother the other hop. But right now, boom, that is pretty good. And that's only going to get better with age too. Yeah. Quite happy with that. A little bit of bitterness though on that. It's starting to become a little bit more. It's not overpowering or anything, but I'm just more aware of it now that I've said it out loud. So what about this? And this was done like 36 degrees or something like that, something insane. During the hot spell, and again it was done in no time at all. So this has probably been on a little bit longer, probably maybe a week. It's been in the keg more than the lager, and the lager's already tasting pretty good. So what's this gonna taste like? It's really hazy. It's not, I don't know that it's gonna get any better than that, to be fair. Again, there's a little bit more, it's like a little mango note or something on the aroma, and underneath that is kind of what I'm getting from the lager. So presumably that's coming from the yeast. Okay. The body feels slightly bigger on that, even though it finished lower, which is curious. And there's definitely more taste on it. A different kind of taste. The orange is in there, but it's more prominent on the lager. This one here, there is definitely a little bit more of a fruity note to it. I mean, it's still clean and stuff, but it's not ultra clean like this one is, absolutely. But that one, I mean, it's clean considering it was like fermented at like 40 degrees or something. But it's not quite. It has definitely left the trace of something in the yeast. It's like a tropical kind of taste to it. Again, it's the mango. I think maybe it's also enhanced that kind of gooseberry note you would get off the Nelson, and it's cranked it right up, which is not necessarily a good thing. If it was to choose between the two of them, I think that the lager as it is what I prefer. Although this is, if I want a beer in a hurry, this is what I would use. It's definitely, as I said before, the notes that it's getting off in terms of the aroma and the taste, they're enhancing the kind of Nelson grapey taste. And for some reason the body seems a bit more full than this one. Doesn't taste anywhere near as bitter, that one. I say bitter, it's not really that bitter, but I mean in comparison to this. That's weird. Yeah. You definitely taste more of the bitterness on that one. And it feels like a lighter body even though it finished higher, so make of that what you will. So yeah, that was interesting. I think that was interesting to see the difference between the two, but ultimately it is the same beer. So I'm gonna go, because I'm gonna go and watch a football match. So cheers, my dears. Hello Clive. I have to say after steal Clive's line, I always have to say hello to Clive. Hello Clive. So cheers, see you next week.